Hello, Resurrection. It's October the 23rd, and I have had a brilliant idea. And I just know that you'll think so too. So I have known for several weeks now what I was going to preach about on All Saints Sunday. I was going to preach on angels. Now, angels do have their own day on the calendar. It's St. Michael's Day, St. Michael and all angels. But we have always considered the saints to be part of that great cloud of witnesses that we sing about and talk about on All Saints Day. I've never preached on angels before, and I thought that that might be a nice change for me and for you. But then I ran across an article earlier this week, and it changed my whole thinking for All Saints Day, which is in a week and a half. It's not this Sunday, but the next Sunday is All Saints Sunday. And I read an article that was published by Harvard Med School about Dr. Andrew Kang. Now, if you don't know Dr. Kang, that's a real shame. He is a member of the Resurrect. Of course, he and his wife, Dr. Ellen Kang, are members. Their daughter Audrey and her husband Tom and their two kids, Nicholas and Alex, are of the most active parishioners that we have. I know the whole extended family. The Kangs have three daughters. Audrey is just one. The other two live close enough by that they are. I basically think of them as parishioners. They're in town a lot, and I think they'll be here actually in December, if not before. And the article that was written about Dr. Kang tells his story about growing up in war-torn Korea through the Korean conflict, about his coming to this country, about his journey to becoming a doctor and his career, but especially about his journey to Christianity. And I'm not going to tell you any more about the story because I don't want to spoil it, but I will tell you that there have already been books written about his story, and it's movie worthy. It is the most dramatic, moving story of that one of the most moving stories that I can think of. And so I have asked, instead of me preaching on All Saints Sunday, I have asked Dr. Kang to give his testimony. Christian testimony has long been considered one of the highest forms of the proclamation of the gospel, and he is such uh, a humble, kind man that actually having the spotlight of the sermon on him makes him a little uncomfortable. But I begged and pleaded with him, and he has agreed to preach on All Saints Sunday, or the one service at 10 o'clock. And I do not think you're going to want to miss what he has to say. It is a remarkable story. I think it will be one of the highlights of the year for us. So if you are on the fence about whether or not you will come to church on All Saints Sunday, I can't imagine why you would not come to church on All Saints Sunday. But we will have something going on that day that you will not want to miss. I promise you that. So put it in your phone, on your calendar, and bring a friend with you. It will be that good. I so look forward to you getting to know Dr. Kang a little better. Dr. Kang will be 90 years old in December, and I wanted to throw him a party, but he is not that kind of guy. He's really not. It is much more about Jesus than it is about him in Dr. Kang's mind. But you want to hear what he has to say this Sunday. I promise you do. So I'm sorry, no, not this Sunday. All Saints Sunday, which is the following Sunday. This Sunday is a regular Sunday, but I will tell you that we are getting ready to have just a string of baptisms. Thanks be to God. In the next few Sundays, and you're not going to want to miss those either. Welcoming new children, God's children, new people into the kingdom of God and into our family at Resurrection. So I am terribly excited about what we have coming up here at Church of the Resurrection. It's going to be a real shot in the arm for us, I think, to kind of witness the fruits of the hard work that we have been doing in the last few weeks. Tonight, Wednesday night, October the 23rd, is our regularly scheduled programming. We'll have family supper at 6 o'clock and then break into all of our groups after that. I have been uh, just bowled over by the attendance on Wednesday nights in the last few weeks. I mean, we're approaching 80 on Wednesday nights. I remember when we couldn't get 80 people. We couldn't. I remember when we couldn't get 60 people for huge events, and now we're having to bring in tables and chairs on Wednesday night. We have a good time on Wednesday nights, and we are a very close knit group on Wednesday nights as well. If you are looking to make your way into the parish in a more concrete way, Wednesday night is the best way that you, in my opinion, is the best way that you can do that. If Sunday mornings is not quite enough for you, then Sunday mornings wouldn't be quite enough for me. To be perfectly honest, I would need I need more connection, more interaction with my church family than just an hour on Sundays, and I suspect that you do too. Come on in on Wednesdays. It is a great way to solidify your relationship with these people who will love for you to be there on Wednesdays. So bring a friend with you. It's a good way to get into the Church of the Resurrection. We have had quite a few folks who start on Wednesdays rather than starting on Sundays. They come into the family on Wednesday nights and eventually become part of the family on Sundays. That's not unusual for that to happen. That seems to be an easier path for some people than for others. So come tonight on Wednesday night, come next week on Wednesday night. We're getting ready to end the church year, which of course ends with Christ the King here in just a few weeks, and then we will head into Advent and then into Christmas, which is just a stunningly beautiful time in the life of the church, and I'm really looking forward to it this year more than most for some reason. I love you, and I can't wait to see you. Y'all are doing a fantastic job.